So these guitars are some of my gateway drug into vintage guitars. The Gibson flat tops from 1930s and the 1940s, especially the Banner era flat tops, J45s and Southern Jumbos. Just like this one, this is one of the nicest examples I've ever had. So it's a Gibson J45, and it's got some of the best features of the wartime. So it still has a truss rod. Many of these don't have a truss rod during this time period. It's got the spruce top. But even more special are the maple back and sides. And that's one reason I really just had to have this one. When the granddaughter of its original owner reached out to me, I just saw it and I was like, wow, that is such a clean example. So nicely preserved, and could really see that maple and the kind of ripples on the edge of the rims in the back. One thing I was doing before Riggs came in to record this, I was photographing the underside of the top, because that's another thing that I think makes this guitar really exceptional and a cut above all the others that are available, is that the underside of this top is so clean. I mean, it's unmodified, undisturbed, original glue on the braces. We didn't have to re-glue braces or change a bridge plate or anything kind of funny. There's no crazy top warping. And for the top of an acoustic guitar, that's kind of like the engine. That's like the motor. It's very important for the guitar to sound the way the manufacturer intended it to sound. So the only repairs that this one needed, it needed a pickguard reglue, because that material will shrink over time and kind of warp the top. So we re-glued it, nice good geometry there. And then we re-glued the bridge as well, because those just kind of tend to pull up over time. Shockingly, it did not need a neck reset at all. There was no benefit to resetting this neck. And I think that has a lot to do with the maple back and sides. They're just a little bit more rigid than the mahogany. So right now we have perfect geometry, perfect action at the 12th fret, perfect saddle height. You don't want any more saddle height than this, because if you get a lot of leverage from a tall saddle, it will pull forward and crack that bridge and warp your top, which is not what the manufacturer intended. This is about as tall as you want that saddle height. So we've got 3 32nds of an inch action on the treble side at the 12th. 2 32nds on the treble side, 3 32nds on the bass side, exactly where you want it. You don't want it any lower, it's not gonna ring out, and you don't want it any higher, or it might be difficult to play. So we've got perfect neck relief, perfect action, and perfect saddle height, which is really what you want in your vintage acoustic guitars. If you don't have that, you might need a neck set. This one's not gonna need it. It never has, not likely to, so that's nice. So it's a great playing example, and sounds like a choir of angels. Totally original, except I think that this little white piece underneath the truss rod cover here may have been just a little bit of folk art by its previous owner. This would have been the only modification to the guitar, is that they just added a white kind of truss rod spacer there, maybe to just give it some extra kind of fancy look or flair. I'm not sure. I suppose it is possible it is factory, but I've never seen it before. So I left it on there because I thought it looked amazing. But the black cover on top is just your typical truss rod cover. So it's possible it's original. It's also possible it's not. You can take it out if you like, but I thought it looked fantastic. So it's a great playing example, and I called in my friend Riggs to show us how it sounds. So that's the 1945 Gibson J45 rare maple back and sides. Incredibly clean example, one of the nicest flat tops from the 1940s I've ever had. My name is John. My shop's called True Vintage Guitar. I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama, but if you're not close by, you can reach me at truevintageguitar.com. And my contact information is there if you have any questions about these. Thanks for watching.